Take a walk through a healthy spring garden, and you're likely to meet Bella. She is a honeybee, and she spends her days buzzing from one bloom to the next. Bella is part of a diverse team of pollinators, a group that includes butterflies, beetles, hummingbirds, and even bats. These animals aren't trying to be helpful. They are simply looking for a meal. Flowers are filled with sweet nectar and powdery pollen, which makes a perfect breakfast for a hungry insect or bird. As they travel around to eat, all of these different animals perform a vital job for the plants, almost entirely by accident. Look closely at what happens when Bella lands to drink. Her body is covered in tiny hairs, and as she sips the nectar, those yellow grains of pollen stick to her legs and belly like tiny pieces of glitter. This diagram shows the transfer in action. When she flies to a new flower, that pollen rubs off onto the stigma, the sticky landing pad at the center of the bloom. This handshake between flowers is known as pollination. That one small movement triggers a transformation. Once pollinated, the flower begins to grow into seeds and fruits, the apples, tomatoes, and strawberries we find in our kitchens. Without this transfer of pollen, a plant cannot reproduce. The flower would simply wilt away without ever making a seed. Because of this quiet, invisible process, about 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat depends entirely on these tiny travelers. While gardens are peaceful, large farms face a constant challenge. Hungry pests like caterpillars and snails can quickly devour entire fields of crops. To stop these pests from destroying the harvest, farmers use pesticides. These chemicals act as a shield, keeping the plants healthy and safe from hungry insects. Once sprayed, these chemicals spread through every part of the plant. They seep into the leaves, the flowers, and even the sweet nectar tucked deep inside the bloom. By trying to solve the pest problem, we accidentally create a hidden danger for the helpful pollinators that rely on those same flowers for food. When a bee lands on a sprayed flower for a drink, she swallows that contaminated nectar. The invisible drops of pesticides stick to her body and enter her system. These chemicals can make the bee feel dizzy and weak. Often, she becomes so disoriented she can no longer find her way back home. Back at the hive, the impact grows. If the healthy workers don't return, the colony cannot collect enough food to survive, and fewer baby bees make it to adulthood. Fewer bees leads to a breakdown in the cycle. Without pollination, the flowers never transform, meaning the world loses out on apples, pumpkins, and strawberries. Losing these insects creates a gap in the environment, removing a major food source for both animals and humans alike. The good news is that we can protect these helpers by changing how we care for our plants. There are many safe ways to handle pests. Ladybirds naturally eat harmful insects, and natural mixtures like neem oil or simple sticky traps can protect a garden without using harsh chemicals. If chemicals are necessary, we can avoid spraying the flowers directly. By spraying only in the late evening, we ensure the chemicals are dry before the bees wake up and start flying the next morning. You can see how this works in the real world by interviewing a gardener or a farmer. Ask them which insects visit their plants and how they keep their flowers safe. After your interview, you can share what you've learned by making a colorful poster. It's a great way to show others why pollinators matter and how we can all look out for them. From professional farmers to students in a classroom, everyone has the power to protect these tiny heroes. Every single honeybee plays a massive role in growing the food that ends up on our plates. This chart shows the positive cycle we want to see. It begins with healthy bees, which leads directly to more pollination. That pollination allows the plants to create a bounty of fresh fruits and plenty of new seeds. Those seeds grow into even more plants, ensuring there is enough food for every animal and person on the planet. By protecting our tiny helpers, we keep the world in balance and our gardens full of life.